The button has been pushed. Hello and welcome. What's going on, guys? Coming to you live from the dungeon. And I got three of my closest friends here because we had a huge weekend, not only here in Colorado where Magoo played their homecoming shows after releasing What a Life, but Billy String started tour down in St. Augustine. And I want to introduce you, a couple of my boys. But first, Shay, how's it going?
Pretty good, buddy. I gotta be honest. My brain was mush until about 3 o'clock today. I think
Yep.
that was about when I started. I was like,
Yep.
I was at work and I was, doing things and asking questions. And one of my buddies pulled me aside, and he knows what's up. He's just like, "So, you're asking a lot of stupid shit. Did you have a good weekend?" I was like, "Yeah, I had a great weekend. It was amazing."
It took my brain a
happens.
while to get going today. Yeah.
Well, see, the three of us, Tad, Shay, and I, we all stayed back in Colorado and caught the Magoo shows. Shannon, you actually went down to Florida for the 3-day Billy run, right?
Yes, sir. First time in St. Augie. It was the best. It felt like the Super Bowl of seeing Billy. It was seriously the best weekend of my life.
Okay, so before we get into this, what I want to talk about is how last week kind of started for us on Wednesday with the Billy Artist pre-sale for the
Yeah.
Denver shows for the first time in 20 months.
We
Get
were
those
all
fucking
together
magic
before our
fingers out
weekend
here.
started trying to figure that shit out.
I don't
Yeah.
want to hear it, bro. If you
Okay,
listen, I want
so-
everyone to know this. If you couldn't get tickets, it's because Tad fucking bought them all.
For you guys.
Because Tag got
Tad,
Be happy.
Listen, without Tad, we'd all be royally fucked right now.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, at least we only need a few tickets because of Magic Fingers. But let's talk about this process because, okay, first off, the last show in Colorado was January of 2025. This is for September of 2026. So we are literally going fucking 19, almost 20 months without a Billy String show. So you would think absolutely nobody wants to see him, right? Duh. And so the artist pre-sale is finally announced. What was funny was on Monday night, it was actually leaked by KYGO
Yeah.
because they accidentally put out an image on their website and it had that photo. It looks like the Phantom of the Opera kind of.
Dude, it is very
Like,
cool. That's a
in
cool
that
photo.
mirror with like the smoke.
But it was only for like the 2 dates. So it was like, all right, what's going to be that third night, right? Because the
we all
radio
thought
station
it was
just did
gonna
it
be
for the 2
something like The
ballerina
Mission.
shows. It was like, okay, well, if it's the 2 shows at Ball, what's that third night going to be?
Yeah,
You
and
know.
we all thought it was going to be something like The Mission, right? And
I can't believe it's
a little
Paramount.
more sense.
yeah, so the Paramount Theater, which holds 1,800,
That's
has
insane.
now become like one of the hottest tickets for us to try to figure out. What's funny is, as we're recording this right now, they haven't even sent the emails out. There's been lots of confusion. We'll get
That was
to
going
that
to be my
too.
next question. I got nothing.
Let's
Yeah,
go to the Wednesday drop, right? So we all signed up on Seated. We get the, what was it? Y'all come was the code, right?
Yeah.
And
Which is a
so
great code.
the way this works for people that don't know is there's a virtual queue that usually a waiting room opens up 30 minutes before the tickets start to be sold, which was 10 o'clock our time. So you had to be in the waiting room at 9:30. At 10 o'clock, we get randomly selected, and you see the little fucking guy walking.
The most anxiety-inducing little guy in the whole world, dude.
Yeah. Or that bar just loading, right? And then the big thing is the number at the bottom. And so a lot of us used to think like, oh shit, if we got into the waiting room early,
I mean, that's what I thought. I thought that before Wednesday, like that. Like, I did not know it was just like random. You're placed in the queue once you're just like in there.
See, Kodi, he's still in the early stages of Wookery. He's not all the way there.
I'm learning every weekend.
And that's why it's important for us to talk about this shit too, because we can learn. And the bigger thing is we can talk about the problems with it and what we can do to fix it. So we all pull our numbers. All of us are in there. There's some confusion on whether you can have multiple tabs for different days or whatever's going on.
Yep.
We're not
Then I
gonna do
think
that.
you're a bot.
All of us are in. The first day was the artist pre-sale, which I think is actually the most allotment of tickets that's actually sold is for the artist pre-sale. And I fucking missed. Shay, how'd you do?
Nah, fucking goose egg, buddy.
Yeah, and Shannon.
That first day for the artist pre-sale, I was able to get a 2-day somewhere in the 100s and then a random Saturday somewhere. I don't even know where. You know, it was one of those things where it was just like, get what you can, figure it out later, get in the entry for Paramount, whatever. You know, we're in the door.
But then we have Thaddeus over here. Tad, how'd you do?
Magic
I
finger
got
Tad
4
over
pit
here,
tickets
dude.
for Saturday.
4 pit tickets for Saturday on the artist pre-sale.
Yeah,
All of us fucking hated him. We hated him so goddamn much.
ridiculous.
I love it. I love him so much that I hate him.
Ridiculous. We all won. Damn it.
Yes, well, and then what's funny is Tad also fucking got tickets for Widespread Panic Red Rocks.
And Fish, dude.
And Fish Dicks. So he's been on this like run. So we're like, okay, well now we at least got to get 4 pit ticks for Friday or whatever it is. So the pre-sale for the locals, the radio station, was Thursday. Again, I got shut out. I ended up buying a row 1 section 327 just because it was row 1 and I needed to get an entry into the Paramount. Shay, I know that you missed. Shannon, you already had your tickets and you were in Billy Strings World. Tad, how'd you do?
I got 4 pit tickets to Friday night.
I fucking hate you. Like this, do you hear how crazy this fucking sounds?
Dude,
man?
like, how come we're all on the phone together, trying to get in the same time together? I'm like 10,000th in the queue, and Tad's 200th. Like, how the? I don't know.
Hold on,
Well,
let's
there
go
was
to
one
the
of those
point
days I
because
was the
Shay,
70th person in line, and I didn't get
that's
fuck
what I was
all.
gonna say.
Like 70 or 77,
Yeah.
didn't get fuck
No,
all.
you said 77 in the
was
in
it
the
77?
thread.
Okay, that was it.
Yeah. Because I was like, oh, double lucky numbers. He's going to get us in. He's going to get us something. Tad just goes radio silent. So none of us know like if he actually scored or not. He just doesn't answer us. I was like 3,000 something. So it was completely fucked. And then Shay's just, he responded. He's like, this is fucking bullshit.
So mad.
He's pissed.
My day is
got
ruined.
in and he couldn't have anything. We were all joking that it was operator error, but there's a lot of bullshit that happens in that checkout, right? Because like sometimes you can get flagged as a bot. Sometimes if you have multiple tabs open, it can play
Yeah, dude.
against you.
Remember with my event, I was trying to pay, and I forget it was like for, I don't know. I didn't end up needing this ticket because I was good later on. But remember, I got the spinning wheel of death when I tried to pay out, and it's like, dude, if I didn't get tickets after that, like I would have been fucking pissed because like they're in the cart. Click pay, confirm, and it's like
we all do in that moment. It's like the spinning wheel of death, and you're like, do I reload? Do I?
Yeah, I left it up for an hour and a half. And I said it was going to go through. And finally, I was like, I refreshed, and it said it gave me like the bot screen, and I was like, well, luckily, like I already have a 2-day and a single for Saturday, like whatever, like. But I was panicking. I was like, if this was my only way to get tickets, like I would have been fucking pissed.
So at this point, fucking Magic Fingers over there has 4 pit tickets for each day. The 3 of us have fuck all essentially. and we're going into the general sale on Friday morning, which is kind of funny to me because there's like next to no tickets at that fucking time. So if there are people that are trying to go and buy tickets and they're like, oh, this is bullshit, and they're only going after a general sale on Friday, you've already shot yourself in the foot. I ended up not buying anything. Shay, I know you bought a bullshit ticket just because you had to get the lottery, right?
Yeah,
and then
I bought a ticket so that I cannot win the lottery. I'm really thrilled about it.
Ah, Debbie Downer,
You're
man.
fucking
yeah,
right.
God damn it.
He's gonna be the only one that gets Paramount tickets. I'm calling it right fucking now.
Dude, that's what I
Plus he
said.
complains
I said
enough.
that in the text. And I'm gonna go and screenshot it when it happens. Be like, "Oh, great, Shay, this fucking dickhead is gonna get the 2 tickets."
Listen, guys, I don't.
But that's also when I said you're gonna tell your girlfriend that you didn't win tickets and you're gonna bring me instead. And then we started talking about the ranking system of us as friends. And
yeah, I was like, what's this list, and why am I dead last in this list?
Well, Shannon, because you were getting having too much fun in Florida, so you only got your first round in, okay? And so realistically, I mean, Shay's my fucking podcast homie, bitch, right? So, like, I have to. He's like my wife, but then he was being a negative dickhead, and I need to kiss Magic Finger's ass. So immediately Tad jumped to the top of the list. I was like, Tad, you have all the power in this relationship. Whatever you want, it's yours. So he's 1, Shay's 2, Shannon, you're 3, and then my lovely wife is running in right behind
Dude,
that, right?
she can be in front of me. If I get lottery, I got a chance at least.
No, we're good, dude. We're good. I honestly, truly believe that the world will provide, and we will figure out a way that we all get into the show. But it's insane.
Yes, it'll all work out.
Okay, so you had to buy those tickets, right? What happened is until today, right now it's Monday at 6:00, until midnight tonight. As long as you buy a ticket, you have the opportunity for an entry for a few days. So at midnight, the emails will go out to everyone. That's why nobody's seen anything. Is you have to wait until the timed entry for the availability has ended, which hasn't, and now it will. Then they'll send the emails. Then it's another lottery system, but what people don't realize is it's only a lottery for the opportunity to purchase tickets.
Right,
so
that's also something
this is what I really
I did not
want to
know.
happen to Shay, that he gets the opportunity, he pulls a 77 and he gets back in, and there's no fucking tickets. He would burn that place to the ground.
You know what? No one's gonna know. I'm gonna go by myself. I'm not telling you. I'm not telling Alex. You're just gonna get a text from me right up on the rail.
I'm gonna be up there with my finger up, and Shay's gonna walk right past and be like,
yeah.
No,
I don't know this guy.
Like some California surfer's fucking wig, right?
Bro,
to like not look.
I will put on a shirt that is not white or black and wear a wig, and it will be like I fucking went invisible.
But so, boys, we need to win these tickets. It's insane that this is only 1,800 seats, right? It's 8.
How many lottery entries they like give out if it's that limited?
I think it's similar to
like the Ryman,
where we just saw Magoo.
Is it okay? Because I could have sworn I've been to the Paramount before, and I thought it was like rows. It's like an actual theater.
I think there's rows of seats, and then there's a little bit of a mini pit and a balcony. Okay. But my guess is like you're gonna have to rage the seats, which is just gonna fuck up your knees and shins. And honestly, like the intimate shows are fucking amazing, and I love them, and I'm not gonna complain about them. But like, for me, if you want to make this special, right? And like, obviously that's what they're trying to do with these intimate shows.
It's like a theme. This run is like the intimate shows.
Arena. Sell it to another 27,000 fans so that we can all at least get another chance to miss tickets. If you really want to make it about the fans and the people that love music, show up on a Thursday before those 3 shows. Maybe there's somebody like Tonewood or the Deer Creek Sharpshooters playing that night on a Thursday, and you fucking show up and you play a whole show. The people that love music and are already at that smaller venue now get a fucking gift for being a true fan. Whereas some of these people are just trying to buy these tickets to trade them, to sell them.
Yes,
it doesn't have that surprise factor. And so like people are always like, oh, you fucking complain about it. Well, what's your answer? That's one of my answers. What do you guys think that we can do to try to make this better? Or like, do you agree with this lottery system?
I think they could support people who are local more. I mean, like people who are going to buy these online in just hopes of getting entry for Paramount are like fucking over the people. Like, I could walk to the Paramount. It's like a 15-minute walk away. It's like maybe they should just find a way to support. Like maybe there's like a certain allotment for just local people to go to that like intimate venue that like you can't believe. Like I saw Last Pot on the Left play there, or
go to the damn box office and buy a ticket if I'm willing to take a day off of work and sit my ass down there at 6 a.m. like we did with the last Ball Arena show. I didn't get there at 6, but you know what I mean. Like there should be.
It was cold as shit that day.
They should offer the opportunity for people to experience their favorite band at a venue like that. And then of course there's gonna be people that are out of town like for the whole weekend, right? For the 3-night run, right? But I think there's gonna be a lot of people, hopefully not us included in this, that are gonna be living here in Denver that are not gonna get in.
And I agree with you guys a bunch. And when I was standing in line with Shay, I was telling him, like, hey, they should take 20% of all tickets. They should put 10% of them at a local box office, right?
Yep.
So then we can do what we did at the Mission, get out there, stand, wait in line. You physically have to be in the city that the tour is coming through, right? Then with the other 10%, you can start putting them physical tickets into small businesses, right?
Maybe like record stores, like that's what Billy's done.
Record
He used to, like
stores,
sometimes
coffee
like stick them right
shops,
in your record, right? Go get them.
yes, whatever it is, so that then you can find that balance of like feeding the local economies, right? And giving people that opportunity to now go somewhere physically to purchase an actual ticket. You're more than likely going to buy some other goods while you're there. And like, I think that would really help all of us.
Yeah,
So,
right. Goes
what,
back to that, like trying to find a way to make it like a local thing you can do to really, you know,
Yeah, but that all
support the
works under the
people and the
assumption that
community and
Ticketmaster
everything.
gives a rat's ass about local businesses.
Yeah, right.
well, and they don't want to, but that's why we have to talk about the power of the people, right? Because there actually was, Shay, you know this. We just did an episode a couple of weeks ago with the guys from Boulder, from the Fox Theater. I can't remember the entertainment company right now,
Z2.
but he actually went. Oh yes, yeah. He went to DC and he was advocating on behalf of some of these things that we're talking about. Well, lo and behold, this law starts getting advanced, and they end up, the president gives the company a fine. I think it was $200 million. Meanwhile, the numbers that they were throwing out was there's 1.6 billion in profits in a single year. So it's like a literal fucking
That's not a
slap on
fine.
the
That's the
wrist.
cost of doing business.
Yes, man. And so it's pretty crazy that some of this shit is going on. I want to transition to St. Augustine before we get into Magoo, because obviously that's the tickets that we were trying to buy. Shannon, you got tickets. Didn't your parents get you these tickets for Christmas?
No, no,
Oh,
they
you bought
definitely
them?
helped me with like a flight, like or like I think for Austin they helped me out. But no, I was with my buddy Chris, like kind of like just like what we did for Denver the other day. Like let's all get on FaceTime, try our fucking best to get. And I think what I've learned with Ticketmaster, it's easier if you're just kind of like getting many tickets instead of like just the one. So I'm like, dude, I'm taking anywhere in the fucking building for St. Augustine. It worked out a bit easier because we had friends that live in Jacksonville that could drive down to like I forget what it's called. It was like the sister venue of St. Aug where you could wait. It's like a box office, like just like we were talking about. You wait in line, you can get your tickets, and you're limited to like four tickets, but
But it is
I told myself I
possible
was
to
like, if I can get
purchase
in the
physical
door, it
tickets.
was my spring break from teaching. I think it worked out perfectly. Like friends there. So yeah, once we got the ticket, we sent it, and I'm so totally glad I did it. The St. Augustine is a special place.
And it was your first time. And I think a lot of
Yep.
people don't realize it's a relatively small amphitheater, right?
It's only like 4,000 or
Yes.
5,000
No,
people,
it was
right?
like I think it was what 3,000 people, and the sound, dude, it got loud in there a lot. And just like looking around, like I can't believe this is this like here in this place. It sounded like it could be like filled a stadium. You know what I mean?
And so it was funny because like it's obviously the first shows of the tour. Some asshole on the internet posted, be like, the boys are here and they look well fed. So people were commenting on like Billy and Jared and how they looked and shit like this. But what I was surprised about was right out of the fucking gate, they kicked the door in, right?
Oh,
Because
I
like,
was gonna say what caught my eye was Alex cut his hair.
yes.
I was like, watch them come out. I was like, what? That fiddle player looks not like Alex Hargraves. My first time seeing him with completely short hair. But yeah, dude, right from the first night, they ripped it, and the whole
Yeah,
weekend,
it was.
you could tell how well they curated the set list. It felt like night one, they crushed it from the very beginning. It was a really, really trippy set in terms of, a very, very, very good Heartbeat of America that got really weird. Really was using his loop pedal a lot for hide and seek. Debuted a few new songs. I got 4 new songs this weekend, and each one of them was just incredibly beautiful. And
Well, on
every
Thursday
night
night,
just got more curated
actually
that specific day, that vibe of the night. it was a beautiful weekend for sure.
Thursday, we actually got the Ronnie Bowman tribute as the encores too, right?
Yeah, dude,
So
that
you
was
got
one of those beautiful things I've ever seen. Is like Billy going up there and be like, you know what? Like, this is for my friend who passed away. We wrote this song together. I've never played this before. Like, to open up the tour, the encore like that, that is, it was a very special night, that first night for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely super sick. And so like I know that I got a lot of heat because I had posted a video of we had some friends there that were there at 3:30 in the morning, and there's rows of chairs in the merch line and rows of chairs going in for the venue, and people are sending me messages like, "Hey, we're not allowed on property." And realistically, I know I mean at Ball Arena we're not allowed on property either, and you know what people do is they go to the closest place where you are allowed and they start lining up like physically. So the chair situation continues to be a thing. I do want to give a shout out for the people that do it the right way, because there are lots of people that put their asses in the seats, that
Yeah,
build the community, that build those friendships, and you meet people. Like all of us have met through the scene, right?
in
and
line.
and
Yep.
yeah, and that's what's special about it. And people always give like, why are you spreading hate and why? And it's like, no, man, you don't understand. Like this
Well, you know what?
this
That's not how you
entitlement
do
shit
it.
needs to end.
Yeah. I think that's a fair point. It's like if it's that early enough, they might not let you on the venue or whatever. But we didn't. Sadly, I didn't get down that Thursday early enough to chuck those chairs for you. But yeah, man, like you said, like that's where you meet the coolest people. That's where you can walk around. Shakedown's right there. You see everybody that you've met before on a beautiful day by the beach. And then we felt the line moved pretty quickly too. Like I got my foil. Like I'm pretty fucking happy. And
Oh, that Luke Martin
that just
poster is
looks in the
pretty
way
sick
you
too.
really do Billy, and just any music concert really you could think of is um those different ways you can find your time to talk to people and meet people that aren't just gonna be like standing next to you at a show, right? It's like, man, like that's how most of us met, is through merch line, right? And like actually spending the time there, hanging out, talking with people. That was how I met a lot of new people this weekend. I feel like just all my time like traveling to see Billy recently, it's where like I got to see a lot of people that I've met, just across the last year or so. You know, I agree.
What was your highlight from Friday and Saturday, Shan?
That's such a good question. I would say Friday was just being like there, like seeing the amphitheater, seeing Shakedown, wooks everywhere, hippies everywhere. Like I said, just seeing people seen around and meeting new people, being by the beach. Um, I just think across the weekend, I just got like better at being at St. Augustine. Like our Airbnb was right by the venue. We biked to and from the show every night. And I feel like every day and up until Saturday, I just felt like, by the end of the weekend, I was like, I feel like I've been here all my life. It was very, very cool. I would say, yeah, Friday was, I would say, like you said, the Ronnie Bowman tribute. That was fucking beautiful. Um, I was in the pit the first night, and then the next 2 nights, I think what I really liked about Saturday was seeing and experiencing the venue just from a different perspective, like being in the back, hanging out where all the people are just like hanging out and dancing in the alleys and the rows. Um, Two of my buddies, Tommy and Chris, they had been to St. Augie a ton of times, and they were just like giving me little tips about how to like do it right. And one of the ones they told me, they were like, go up to the 300 section and just look out to the moon, look out to the lighthouse. And there were so many times where I just like took a song or two and just went up there and just soaked it all in from the top. It is the
Speaking
most
of the
beautiful
moon,
place I've
sorry,
ever
I
seen.
gotta cut you off because was it Thursday or Friday that Artemis launched and you guys got to see the streak
Yep. So that was, yeah, it
of
was
the
before the show started. We had a lot of people telling me like, look up at the sky at 6:30. That was on Thursday. Or no, Thursday, yeah, Thursday. I think it was a very cool like kickstart to the weekend. Like blast off, here we fucking go.
Yeah, guess what?
Really
They
just like
weren't
the
the
set
only
list
ones being
was
sent to the
Jesse. I
moon
don't
from
know, like
St.
that
Augustine.
photo was badass. They posted.
Yeah.
I think that was a very cool like thing to have around in St. Augie that weekend.
That's awesome. Well, I'm glad that you had a really good time. I'm excited to see. I mean, it's insane. He's already played three, like you said, three new singles, probably from the album, right? And then that Ronnie Bowman song. So you guys
Well, I
got
think is that might be the fourth. Yeah.
four first time playing.
But
Yeah, I don't even know. Maybe that Ronnie Bowman song actually is on the album. We have no idea. But it's pretty cool. He's
well,
off to
what was
Tampa,
even
right?
cooler, dude, was seeing all the pictures of. I felt like I was also with you guys at the Magoo show with my face on the stick. I ever like that was also what made the weekend so special. Is obviously I want to hear about the shows, but like it felt like I was there because that's me on a fucking stick with all my friends at the Magoo show. I just felt so loved this weekend. It is hard to express and put into words.
Well, so I know we had all talked about it in our group chat, and then on Thursday morning, I asked Shay, I was like, Shay, do we have Shannon on a stick yet? And he's like, no. I was like, shit, okay, we got to do this. So he sent me the picture that he made of you as a puddle with the sunglasses. And then I went and I got an 8x8 photo printed out, and I glued it to some poster board and then put it on a stick, and we brought you to the show.
It was perfect,
Shay
dude.
properly put you in his butt crack.
I saw so many pictures, and one of them was just like me hanging out of Shay's butt. I'm like, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, buddy. So yes, Magoo. Let's fucking get into it, boys.
Yes, I want to hear all about these shows, dude.
So Tad, Shay, and we all stayed back here. The first show was Friday night in Fort Collins at the Aggie Theater. We knew that it's a smaller venue. I think it's like 550, but at that point it was the largest headlining venue that Magoo has ever played. And
At Aggie, the first night, really?
Yep.
Damn. Okay.
It's the first they beat it the next night, but still. So
Yeah.
But it was the first headlining show in Colorado since they released their What a Life album. So we had all been talking about it. They released a picture of the poster early in the morning, and we're like, all right, we all got to go. I think I left the earliest, and I ended up getting up there around 3:00. Lucky for me, 20 minutes before I got out, somebody called me and they're like, hey, I'm first in line. I was like, how many other people are there? And he's like, nobody. And I got there, so I got right behind Dustin, first and second. Shay got there maybe an hour later, but he was only like 3 people behind me. And then Tad, we won't talk about Tad on Friday night because Tad ditched us.
Tad has other friends, apparently.
Yeah. A couple of my buddies from high school, man. We were shooting the shit.
Whatever, dude.
I knew I was gonna party with you guys on Saturday.
We could have hung out with your other friends too. We're not like.
Do you think Tad's embarrassed? He doesn't want us to meet his friends?
I would never introduce you guys to my friends. Hell no.
That's fair. So I can understand.
Why do you think I haven't?
Guilt by association. But so Tad didn't have
They're
to
not people that want to be on the rail, so it's we're just chilling.
It was fucking packed up there too.
We definitely wanted to be on the rail. So we got there early. There was quite a line. We got in. Our homie Honey Hole Alex was shooting the show, so he helped get us taken care of. The confetti cannons were effectively smuggled in. I will tell you that the security at both of these venues were insane. Like in the one in the Aggie was a wand. So they wanded everything. I'm very surprised that we were able to be successful with that endeavor. But we got in. I was right behind Dustin. Dustin bought a foil. I bought a foil. And then I go to my car because I'm not going to roll it. I'm just going to keep it flat. I'm at home. I'm going to bring it back home. And then I come back in, and Shay could not have been more pissed off. And he's like, you motherfucker, you bought the last foil. And I was like,
yeah.
How many were there? Were there 15?
There was only 15.
I saw it. Someone posted it. 14, 15. I made 15.
So where'd the other
2 nights
go?
Well, so they ended up, we'll get to that later, but so my number was number 6. So I think they sold 6 at that first show.
Okay.
There was only one person in front of me, so we purchased 2. There's lots of foils for the tour poster and the regular poster.
Which are fucking sick, by the way.
Yeah, right.
Oh, dude, the art is phenomenal. The tour poster is actually the same artist from the tour poster of Yes that did Billy's tour poster.
So it's okay. That makes sense.
It's pretty sick. They're buying good stuff, but like 15 foils, like super limited run, right? Shay is so pissed. My favorite part was I didn't know any of this happened. I get a picture from Honey Hole, and it's Shay smiling. And then the merch guy with like this awkward look. And was that at the moment, like before or after you didn't know you had a foil?
Oh, that would have been after, because it was one of those things where you know, and because I saw you get one, and I was doing the math of, I was like, okay, there's probably, and like you, I thought there was another box under the table, and he was going to pull another one out and set it up
That's
there.
what I thought.
And then
That's
I was
what I
like,
thought.
and it was literally this moment of, he goes, "Nah, man, that was the last one." And I had some beer, so I was just like, "Fuck!" And then immediately I looked over and I saw Alex over there, so I like gave him a smile, and that guy turned to follow my gaze. And I think he was worried I was gonna yell at him about it or something. I don't know, because I'm a big dude. He's a little guy.
Terrified. He looks
Dude,
fucking terrified.
I don't that picture catches like just the right moment for whoever that guy is. And it was so fucking funny, because I was like, all right, well, and he's like, "You still want the funny part was, I didn't mention this. He goes, "Well, do you still want the other posters?" Like, "Oh yeah, fuck me up. Give me that shit. I'll take a shirt and this," So I bought some shirts for Alex and the other 2 posters, and scuttled down. And it was really funny because like it was in that moment where I was like, realistically, I understand it's just a poster, but for that few minutes right there, I was just like, I need a minute to calm down. I'm very disappointed. And that is also when everybody kept coming up to me to be like, "Shay, what's going on? I'm so excited." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm real excited too. Let me get a beer. I'll be back." And I'm gonna throw a tantrum about it.
I need a couple minutes to be pissed off.
Yeah, I just need a minute to be pissed off.
He was definitely pissed off.
That sucks. That happens, but
But it's okay, because hey, listen. Well, we have a story that we'll finish later that makes up for it, right? So we get in, we get rail. We're pretty much front and center. I normally like to let the shorter people get in front of me, and then have some fun, dude. That room was rowdy. It was packed. It was hot as fuck. It was so hot in there until they cracked that door.
Well, you also
but at
don't
least
take off that fucking sweater all night.
Buddy, it's branding. I can't. I've gotta find my people.
Respect the marketing, Shay. Someone's got to do it between you, ding dong.
If you fucking helped, then I wouldn't have to do it all the time.
Yeah, you would.
But
bullshit.
Yeah, listen.
Just make a fucking t-shirt, man.
What's up?
Just make a fucking t-shirt.
No, God damn it, Tad. Jesus, you have all the answers, don't you?
Yeah, you could have one for hot weather and one for cold weather. It's like clothing, It's
I still need my street team
it's
shirt.
Like clothing, man.
We do need to get Shannon the street team captain fucking sweatshirt for sure. But he doesn't want high vis. We'll get him in black. But yes, Tad, I do need more summer wear of high vis. I don't know if you noticed, but I don't try to buy the ones with like the reflector lights. I want them to try to look like regular clothes, just in this fucking hideous color. And it's not as easy to find as you would think. But that doesn't matter. Let's get to the show. They had a nice band opening for them. They were more folk.
Who opened night one?
Slower pace.
Friendly Reminders.
Yeah, Friendly Reminders.
Friendly Reminders. They're very good. I think the mandolin player is actually friends with Cortland. And it was super sweet. I kept calling the guitar player Country Luke Black. So my favorite thing to do is see people on stage, and then I tell Shay who I think they look like, so that he just thinks about it the whole time. He's like,
yeah,
God damn it.
Almost always gets me.
I did it with North Fork Crossing the other week when I called them Bluegrass Bubbles. And now this kid's Country Luke Black. But boys, that Magoo show. So Friday night was pretty crazy. One of my favorite highlights was the gospel tune that Cortland got to play, because they ripped that thing.
What was that? Crying Unto Holy Land? Is that what that is?
Yep. And it was fun because it was just a precursor for like the entire weekend. We know these boys rip. Friday night was fast and furious, right? And it was pretty insane to see like the Aggie sold out. Because it's like I've spent lots of times in Fort Collins, and some places do sell out, but like that place was literally packed front to back.
I mean, like for anyone that's been there, or even if you haven't, it's one of those standard setups where it's like you've got an upper tier where all the merch and shit is. Kind of like it's like the Fox. It's kind of set up real similar with an upper tier, and you go down, and then there's some side areas, and there's bars at the back. And I've seen a bunch of shows there, and the most I've ever
just hanging out right at the bar. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
The only thing I don't think I've ever seen it that full. I've seen it where the pit area up front is filled all the way to the back, And then that area in front of the bar is like room for activities. You can do cartwheels and shit. And it was a chore to get a beer just because everyone was so tightly packed. But the weird thing was toward the end of the night, the front was looser than the back. I guess everybody got tired of how hot it was up front and moved toward the back. And it was awesome. And the pictures of it really, they actually do it pretty good justice how packed it was. There were so many people there.
Yeah, when I saw those pictures coming, I was like, "Damn, dude! There is a lot of people at that Aggie show." I knew like Denver, the Bluebird show was going to be fucking insane, but like Aggie, I knew the Aggie wasn't exactly sold out, but
it sold out the day of. I think
it did sell out the day of. There was 15 tickets the night before. So Shay and I were up front. Tad was hanging out with his cooler friends from high school and got there later. But weren't you hanging out towards the back, buddy? What was it like for the environment back there? Because it's a different feel, right?
Yeah, I mean, it was really tight back there in the first set. It loosened up a bit in the second set, but I don't know. There's kind of some weirdos back there. This girl next to me was talking to her friend, and she's like, "I promise no one in the crowd loves this song as much as I love this song." And she just kept saying that to her friend during the entire fucking song.
for every
It's like,
song.
"Oh, yeah, you love it so much, you're not even listening to it." And then
which song was it, Ted?
Yeah,
I don't even remember, dude.
Because if it's Angel I'll Tell You, I know the fuck she doesn't love that
songs.
song more than anyone. Me and Shay love that song more than anyone.
That's true.
Okay.
They didn't play it. They didn't play
I know.
it.
They hurt my feelings a little bit.
And then the other funny story of the people around us, there was like a couple in front of us, probably in their 50s, super fucked up, like just dancing really big when it cleared out. And the wife propositioned my girlfriend for a threesome.
That's right. You told us. I forgot about that.
You're just upset they didn't invite you, dude.
I mean, were they?
Yeah, they did while I was in the bathroom. I'm like, what am I?
Yeah, they waited until you left. They're like, "Hey, come with us. Have fun with us."
They waited till the big look was gone, and then they asked his pretty girlfriend to be in a threesome. And I just wish Jen would have been like, "Only if that handsome feller can come."
Yeah, that would have been a good response.
Of course, she is just cordial and said no.
Yes, no, thank you.
Yeah, no, definitely some weird shit. But the music was insane. Obviously,
the sound was great. Everything was good.
Dude, they covered the Steel Drivers when Rainbows Never Die.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I saw that song. I know who that song was by.
And
I didn't know. Did they play any new songs this weekend?
Yeah. Well, no, not new songs that they haven't played. They played.
Well, no, like the first time played. Yeah, like Cosmic Wonder is an album, like Ohio Blues or Oregon Trail rather. Yeah,
Oregon Trail. They played all that the second night. So the first night they started The Road. They didn't finish The Road.
That's my favorite Magoo song right now.
There were some other solid highlights. It's just fun to see like the energy of the guys, right? Because they had just gotten done playing 16 shows in 18 days.
That's
going
insane,
up and
dude.
down the West Coast.
And then to finish in a hometown show with all your fucking family there, dude. That's insane.
Yes. So it was amazing. I was effectively able to sneak in 4 confetti cannons to that show. I had popped 2 off, and at set break, this guy comes up to me and he goes, "Hey, are you the one popping off the confetti cannons?" And I was like, "Nope, not me." And then he goes,
I'll try to seek him down though.
Who is it? And I go, "Allegedly." And he goes, "Oh, okay, so it is you." And so it was the photographer. His name's James. He's the old photographer for STS9. And he's like, "Do you know when you're going to pop them off?" And to be
I love that, dude.
I don't. Like, normally I feel for the song and wait for like a break and then do it. And I told him, I was like, because he wanted to coordinate a shot. And he's like, "Well, can you know?" I was like, "Well, show me the set list." And he's like, "Well, I can't do that." I was like, "That's their manager over there. Go talk to him and tell him why I want to see the set list, and he'll show it." He didn't even go. He showed me the set list. And I was like, "Okay, I'm going to rip one on Back on the Train and then New Country Blues." So this guy doesn't know the fucking songs. James doesn't even know the songs.
Like why? It's like, hey, these 2 songs. He's like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
What do they sound like? He kept looking at me, being like, Our homie Nick was actually running the cameras for Nugs, stage left, and he kept panning to fucking Shay and I in the crowd, rocking out, doing stank face, doing all this shit. He got a couple of the confetti cannons, but it was sick because James got out there for Back on the Train, and he's like, "I'm gonna stand right behind your shoulder, tap stop me like 10 seconds before you're going to do it. And so I told him, I was like, hey, on the last back on the train, I'm going to rip it. And we did. And dude, the pictures are so sick. They're so sick. And so that was super cool, but that was not good because then it fueled my fire because I was like, I'm going to get more in to the Bluebird. And so the show ended. I booked it so fucking fast after New Country Blues because they played till 1 o'clock and they didn't want to stop. They just kept playing. They're like, oh, we just feel it. They played, oh, dude, they played not China, Riders of the Storm.
The Doors? No, I know. They play I Know You Rider?
Or yes, they played I Know You Rider.
Okay.
And Cortland was saying, oh, we didn't have this on the set list, but it told us when it needed to be played. And I was like, fuck yes.
That's a good way of putting that.
They absolutely crushed it. But the second the show ended, I didn't want to get in any fucking trouble. So I booked out and I immediately ran to my car. Shay didn't even get a chance to see me. He's like, Kodi! And I gave him the double bird and literally just booked out of there. Got home somewhere like 2:30, some shit like that. You guys stayed up in Fort Collins. What'd you guys do after the show?
Well, we ended up going to a bar afterwards, but then it was us and our buddy Matt, like all the girls, Alex and Michelle and Amber and all these people, they went out and they went across the street to the tequila bar that was across the street, but it was closed. So then Matt and I are standing there by the front door, watching Ryan trying to fight somebody. And then after that was done, we went, we realized we had no idea where the rest of our crew was, and none of them were picking up their phones because they're all fucked up. And so we went up and down the block for about 15 or 20 minutes trying to find them. And it turned out they were just in the place right next door to the Aggie whiskey. So we went there. And absolutely, they all ordered a pizza and were so excited about this pizza. Did not want to eat the pizza, or when they got it, they're like, "We don't want this pizza. Pizza sounds good right now.
I can't eat right now. My brain doesn't."
Yeah, I was like, I can't eat right now. So I ate myself sick, and that was right around the time I texted you, and I was like, guys, I am having the best Diet Coke I've ever had in my fucking life. It was an existential experience of pure bliss. I'm going to be chasing that Diet Coke dragon for the rest of my life. I don't know if I'll ever have one better than that. I don't know what it was.
Fridge Sig.
Yeah, dude, so good. And I will tell you that staying, because we stayed in the hotel directly across the street, and that was a fucking clutch move. Because normally I would just try to get home from the Aggie, but like you said, they were playing late, and I knew I had a room across the street, so I was like, I'm gonna drink some beers. So that's what we did.
Where'd you stay? What'd you do?
Huh?
Where'd you end up?
Where'd I stay?
Yeah.
I ended up driving back. I had like 3 drinks before the show, and then during the show, I was like, I kind of don't feel like staying in Fort Collins, so I just didn't drink during the show and drove back.
That's smart. Nobody wants to spend $20
And it was,
in Spain.
I mean, I had a busy weekend, man. I went to 3 professional sporting events and 2 concerts in 3 days. So I was like, I need to take it easy.
That's a humble brag, folks. That's a humble brag. What was nice was he blessed us with his presence on Saturday night. He finally decided, like, oh, I'll hang out with you guys maybe. So Saturday I had already gotten my poster. Shay was fucking bitter and didn't know. So we didn't know if there was any more posters, right? We thought, well, fuck, are they gone? And so I called a couple people, confirmed that there were some posters. Shay's like, all right, fuck it, I got to get down there. Got down there relatively early. I couldn't leave until like 5 or 5:30 because of the babysitter. And then you guys were able to get in. Bluebird's been sold out, since November?
November,
one of the harder tickets for people to get. There was all sorts of people.
I'm amazed how short the line was when I got there. Because when I got there, of course, at the end of the night, we had the influx of people that showed up at the front. But when I got there at like 3, something like that, maybe 4, I'm not sure. There were only like 3 or 4 people in front of me. Like, I was really surprised. I expected, because it's a Denver show, and more importantly, it was a Saturday, so most of these people don't have to work. I mean, unless you're in the service industry, typically. So that I expected them to be lined up around the block by the time I got there. And when I showed up,
just because Magoo, the Magoo fans, I was surprised to hear about that. Like, their hometown show that was sold out for months. Yeah.
Yeah, it's sold. I was like, there's no way it's not gonna be lined around the block.
Well, what was dope was you ended up getting in. You had a handful of people in front of you, and then our homie JT James Taylor. He's actually the guy that engineers the live audio shows for Nugs for Magoo. He was the person directly in front of you, and it almost happened again, folks. The last foil could have been sold to James Taylor, but that man is such a kind soul. What did he do?
I came up behind him, and then he looked at it, and we asked, because to be clear, when I got in line, I was like, okay, there's 4 or 5 people here. I was doing the math, and I was just being a shameless simp about it. I asked, I was like, is anybody here looking to get a poster? And everybody's like, no, not really. I just want to get close.
In line, really?
Yeah, in line. All the people at the front line, no one had tubes, and but they all know that's what I'm into. So it was really funny. So like, yeah, dude, I think you're good. Like, none of us want one. Maybe one. I think there was a guy behind me that wanted one. And I was like, okay, cool, that's awesome. We'll see how it goes. And then I got in there, and because people had gotten in before me, and there was also the fast pass. So there were a bunch of people that had fast passes that went in before us, that showed up at the last minute, which I talked a lot of shit about, but let's be clear, if I had known that was a thing, I'd have bought that shit too. But
is that a Bluebird specific thing?
No, it wasn't an option when I bought my ticket, but essentially you can show up right before doors and line up in a separate line, and they let all those people go in first for like an extra $20. That's usually how it works.
Like a first 100, but you can pay for it.
Yeah, kind of.
It was probably only like 20 people too.
Yeah, but anyways, I got up there, and the guy's like, yeah, this is the last gold lion foil, and I was like, all right, well, fuck, I didn't get it. And I was like, James, it's all you. And he was like, nah, man, I know this means a lot more to you than it does me, so like, you can have it. And like, I kind of argued with him about it. I was like, no, absolutely not. Like, you got here first,
what a good
that's
dude.
yours. And then my lovely girlfriend Alex is like, Shay, stop being a jackass and accept the generous offer.
Shut up and take the foil, idiot.
Shut up and take the fucking foil, because I don't want to hear you bitch about it later.
Yeah, right, because you will fucking complain about that shit.
Folks, he did.
Yes, I did. So
and you know who didn't get a foil because of it? Tad.
Guess who was right behind Shay in fucking line? That was me. So I got the Shay treatment on Saturday night.
Yeah, dude. Hey, man. Dude, what was really funny about the Friday night, Kodi, is I thought you knew that was the last one, because the way you held it close and scurried away with your head down, I thought you were like,
oh, buddy, guess what? I did. He told me as I was buying it, this is the last one. I did not want to be part of that fight, so I was keeping the goods close to the chest.
I'm gonna fight the merch guy about it. I was just super butthurt. Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Dude, I would have burnt the place down if it was me. But fucking, I did. I clutched my pearls and I ran to my car to go put it away.
It was like a little kid who stole cookies when he wasn't supposed to. It was
Matilda Wickerbook bag.
Dude, I did feel like I was getting away with something, because everybody's like, oh, well, you guys are friends with the band. Why don't you call in a favor or do that? And it's like, that's so fucked up. Like, that's not fair to anybody else. No. Because then whatever could happen to somebody else, right? So like, as much as I'd love to throw a chair out there or call in a favor, we go and we put in the time and we fucking miss. We miss on tickets. We miss on posters. Shit happens. But let's talk about when we got into the fucking Bluebird, because that show, I am telling you guys, that show is going to go down in the fucking Magoo record books as a turning point for this band.
It is. It's going to be one of those shows.
You guys give me FOMO.
Yes, and what's going to be great is there's going to be 3,000 people that said they were at that show, even though they weren't at the show, because that's how important this show is going to end up being. I want to give a shout out before we talk about Magoo. The Deer Creek Sharpshooters absolutely came out and crushed it.
Absolutely.
They did an amazing job. The Friendly Reminder was a great band. It was very pretty, but it was folk music, right? So Shay and I were talking about the pairing of like a fast jamgrass with a slow storyteller. It didn't match the vibe. Deer Creek came in, kicked the fucking door
dude, they're
in.
badass.
They played a Rod Stewart cover that was fucking amazing. They did a great job. It was awesome, because the next morning they took a picture of the crowd and them, and then they sent it to me. And then what was funny was everybody thinks that I made the high vis, but it was actually Luke. I call him Banana Hands, the mandolin player.
Did they all dress up in high vis?
That's hilarious.
He made that and sent it to me, and he's like, how about the high vis sharpshooters. And I was like, fuck yeah, I'll take all this credit. So I posted that shit, but those guys are fucking amazing. Ted Bundy has looks to kill. He shreds, but his loafer game is strong. If you go and watch the banjo player, he has some beautiful taste in Northeast loafers. But I was super proud of those guys. Obviously, they're homies of the podcast. They've been here in the dungeon. But I want to give a shout out to the Deer Creek Sharpshooters. Now, that being said, let's start with this fucking Magoo show, because holy shit, boys. And it started off as hot as it should, because Cortland was on one. The whole night he was on one, but he started with the AC/DC Thunder chant. Thunder!
No way.
They went into Picking Flowers.
Thunder!
I was gonna say, I thought they opened with Picking Flowers. I didn't see any AC/DC on that list, dude.
15 seconds was that AC/DC run into Picking Flowers. So it's just like, boom, here we fucking go. We had a nice little crew, so this was a much different setup. It was obviously an old theater that had rows that have now turned into multiple layers of different balconies. So we were second balcony, dead center, so we were kind of right in line with the band looking out. There was a good crew of us. Some of our Tonewood homies were there. All of the wives of the band was there. Some of our close friends and family of the band. Tad showed up. Jen was there.
I can say I was there, right?
Yeah,
you were there.
Yeah,
okay.
You puddled. You were so puddled that you got lost by the end of the show. So
well, no,
still
I was
there.
telling Alex, she was like sending me all these pictures, and she was like, "I'm sorry, like I think we taped you to the rail, and I think we might have left you." I was like, "Dude, that makes sense that my face would just be on the floor after a Magoo show, like it always fucking is, just puddled as hell." You know? It's very fitting that I would end up just wherever.
Yeah, so for me, like, I felt like I kept looking at Tad and Shay, and I was like, I don't think they're gonna stop. They're not gonna take a set break, because like they played forever that
In that first set.
and then once they finally did stop, it was like pure chaos. So I prematurely popped off 4 confetti cannons in the first 2 hours. And I ran out
Well,
of
do you
them.
think they're not going to stop playing it? Just like, fuck it. Let them rip.
Dude, I just like, I wanted to flood the floors with that fucking confetti cannon. And I was having way too much fucking fun. And so I popped all 4 of the ones that I brought in out. I knew that I had 2 more out in the van. Was actually the fucking MVP. And I don't know if I should put this on here, but hopefully they won't be mad and will ask for forgiveness later. She was the one that went out and got the other 2 for the second set. So, we're all hanging out. We're having a good time. I had pocket milk duds, which was clutch.
Oh, those were good. They were warm.
The show, yeah, they got warm in my pocket.
That was clutch.
Dude, pocket duds.
Getting warm in my pocket. And we were having fun. We're blasting a bunch of confetti, and the guys just were on another level. They were jamming so much. Like, you would never have come into this show being like, oh, this is a bluegrass band, right? Because they literally just jammed for
every clip I'm seeing come up online is like unreal and nasty. That Oregon Trail is just a filthy, nasty song.
We were talking about this in the tech chain earlier. I love that fucking song because of that riff is so great. It's really catchy and iconic. I love the subject matter, and it's just got one of those choruses. I fucking cannot get enough of how they'll pause the song for half a second, and then the entire audience just goes Oregon Trail, and it just
it's for me. It's when Eric just puts the throttle down on his solo in that song. Yep.
That's what was so perfect was when I did the last confetti can. My wife was like, "You're gonna do 2 during the same song?" I was like, "Yes, I am."
Fuck yeah, we are.
Jen, Tad's girlfriend, was right next to me, and she got this.
Her video is really good.
Of the Oregon Trail at that exact moment on the Oregon Trail, pop,
yeah,
boom, all of it falling, and It's fun. Obviously it was too much.
Yeah, because you got in trouble.
Did they say something to you?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, dude. So I had two more for the rest of the show, and I like held on to them for later, and I got it. And after I popped the sixth one, security comes, and he's got his little fucking flashlight, and he flashes me, and he goes, "You got to stop that shit, or I'm gonna kick you out." And I was like, "I'm good. I'm done. I'm done."
Yeah, don't tell me twice.
I had popped all the ones that I had gotten in.
Dude, after the fifth one, he was like, if this fucker does this one more time.
Crowdsource. That's what's gonna happen.
Dude, that dude was eye fucking us for the rest of the night.
I'll tell you what didn't help was I kept blowing him kisses. Like he would look at me and I'd give him just a mwah, and he just wanted just. I was like, dude, I didn't do anything. I'm just as guilty about association, which is often a problem, but that's okay.
There was a moment in this show though where it was again hot as balls, and we were friends. We're all sharing drinks, and fucking I am so thirsty. And Tad is drinking this water, right? And I was like, oh my God. And he has like a good third of this bottle left, right? And I was like, oh, let me get a sip. This fucking kid slams this bottle, literally leaves a drop, gives it to me. I drink it because I'm that fucking thirsty. He goes, at least you can remember what it feels like. I was like, God damn it. But dude, it was so funny because he's right. Like that little bit of palate was like, oh man, I really wish that I could drink. Dude, I drank a half a gallon of water when I got home that fucking night. But fuck you, Dad, that was terrible.
I'm pretty sure there was at least a sip. It wasn't a drop.
It was definitely not a fucking sip.
It was enough to wet your whistle a little bit.
It was definitely not a sip.
That's savage, and I respect it.
Dude, so let's talk about some of this. So they ended up playing Oregon Trail, right? They ended up finishing the road. I don't remember what fucking song was it. We're all standing up there, and Cortland is known to take his shirt off at shows, right? So they're playing their fucking dobro daddy's over there doing his dobro thing, ripping, and Cortland puts his mandolin down, takes off his mic, and I was like, oh, Cortland's gonna take his shirt off. And I told that to Shay. I was like, he's gonna take his shirt off. What's this fucking kid do? Woo!
Crowd dude. Amazing.
Into the fucking crowd. Goes all the way up to the third tier, turns all the way back. The problem is because there's such a huge shift in the height of those tiers, he would like drop, and then people like wouldn't get him. So I was like, he started going up. I was like, all right, get him back down. Let's get him the fuck out of here. But this kid is a fucking rock star.
That was
the coolest shit.
Like, I was pretty worried about that last pass off right by the stage.
Yeah,
I thought he was about to go down.
Yeah, I always wonder like what like band management and stuff and like the venue thinks about doing that kind of shit, because like realistically, like if you got dropped and broke your wrist or hit your head or whatever, it's a whole big problem. The show's got to stop. But like I imagine there were a lot of chicks in that crowd that were more than eager to help him move across that venue.
Hey, he's a married man now.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's married
now, brother.
I will give some insider information on this. So, what happened was that first set went forever. During set break, somebody brought it up, and they're like, "Well, what if Cortland crowd surfed? Just being a joke, right? Like, well, what?" And Cortland was like, "Yep."
And
he just
I'm doing it.
That's awesome.
He just fucking did it, and it was crazy, right? Because like we've done a version of a circle pit at Cervantes. Now we have crowd surfed at the Bluebird. Like what is left, right? And so it was pretty sick. They covered Fish. Eric did an amazing job, and I know that Eric and Denton are huge Fish kids, and they always give me shit because I'm always talking shit, and I always give them shit because I'm like, just play some fucking Grateful Dead. So when they actually finished the Fish song, I was like, play Bertha. And what was great was later in the night they ended up covering 2 fucking Dead songs. So they played a Brown Eyed Women that Eric just absolutely
Eric crushes that cover
on that.
Dude, when you're watching that, if you go back and watch the video for any of you, go and look at Dylan's face.
Dude, he was great.
Geeking out.
while Eric is playing, he's just like, it was so fucking cool. There was another moment that I really loved was Cortland is shredding, right? And he loves to walk up into the front of stage, and he did the Billy Strings hair whip, and he did some shit, but he was shredding and shredding, and it could have been this moment where the band just like let him go off and do his thing, but then Eric came up and walked with him. And so then the two of them start fucking battling together.
Yeah.
And it just like shot it to another fucking level, and you saw the two just like getting after it. And that's why I'm saying like this show brought them to a place I've never seen before. I've listened to almost every fucking Magoo show that they've had and put on Nugs. I have never heard or experienced them play the way that they did on Saturday
I thought
night.
Den was gonna snap his bass in half.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it, and this is a legitimate question, I don't know if it's how he plays, I don't know if it's how the mics are tuned, but there's a lot more, because he's like hit maybe the chord is hitting the strings are hitting the fretboard, but there's this like wooden thunk to it, and it's so heavy and it's so fast, and you just feel it right down to your nuts, and it's awesome. And I never get tired of that little twirl he does where he throws the thing out and spins it around, brings it back. So good.
X Games mode, baby. He's going X Games mode. My favorite part was at the beginning of the second set, he came out with fucking bunny ears. And he was so committed to
Easter
the
weekend, after all.
He was so committed to the bit, he would fix them, and he still had and then later in the show, he had this great moment where he's having banter with the crowd, and he's like, you know what? California gives the best gifts. And he's talking about organic gifts, and Dylan's giving him shit about wanting free weed. And then he goes, all you guys give us here in Colorado is these fucking bunny ears. So we got to do better, you guys. We got to do better. But I want to talk about that other Dead tune because Dylan crushed it, and it was Peggio. And
dude, I love that they've been playing more of that song. That's so awesome.
Dude, I want to talk about Dylan's voice and like
he's my favorite singer on planet Earth,
and how much he has grown. Because he not only in Peggio, but he had this moment during Slewfoot where he is just from the bellows, and it was so great because he went forever. We need to do a stopwatch on it. But what the best part was when he finished, he was like. Like Will Ferrell, he like fucking shook out of it, and he was like so amazed that he had fucking done that for so long. But like, you guys hear it, right? The difference in his fucking
dude.
singing,
you know what I love about Dylan and really like all of the band really is that like how humble they are, and how like Dylan on Instagram be like, hey, here's this song I'm practicing, like I need a name for it, you know, or like that one post he had a couple weeks ago that was like, hey, here's what my voice sounded like years ago when I was just starting off as a musician. Here it's just kind of showing like, hey, like if anyone wants to pursue music or do this, like you can do this if you put in the work and the time, and just to show that progress. Like it really makes, I feel like every show on the Dobro and vocally, Dylan and all the band, but like Dylan just it's really cool watching that and seeing it like both online on Instagram, and then just going to the show and be like, yeah, this guy works and practices his ass off, and it pays off.
I'm glad you said that, because all of them kind of took some time to reflect, because $550 at the Aggie, it was $600 at the Bluebird, so this was the largest headlining act that they had sold out. And Dylan talked about, hey, only 4 years ago it was 3 of us, his uncle Paul and Eric, and they were playing breweries and nobody was showing up, right? And Cortland talked about yes. And Cortland was talking about the power of just taking a chance, right? And it was String Cheese Incident because they played Black Clouds, and he gave this great story in the middle of Black Clouds about a friend of his that invited him to the Tell Rewrite Bluegrass Festival, and that's where he ended up meeting those guys in a pick, right? And he's like, just get in the car, just go, just drive overnight, take chances, do this shit. And like, it's so cool because all of us, except for Tad, have been huge fans from the beginning, right? And so Tad, what I want to talk about is what made you finally come over the edge on this one?
He's still a Dweller's boy deep down for sure, but there was a time where you got to convince him to go to these Magoo shows.
Dude, all I said was you're crazy for leaving a Dweller show to go to a Magoo show, and then you guys create this narrative that I'm just big fucking hater.
Yeah, dude.
It's
Honestly,
tricky on
the
Winter
whole
Grass.
time
I'm
at
just
the
some
show,
good
we're
music.
pretending like Tad was in the back because he was really beside us, just saying how much he hates the band the whole time. And that doesn't sound like something I'd make up. I don't know. That's yeah.
Oh, there was one other moment I wanted to talk about that I'm sure a lot of people were going to wonder about. They did stop the show in the middle of the show.
I was wondering when we get to this.
Yes, and so we can kind of cap off on this and end this thing. But so there was a disruption in the middle of the show. Billy Strings had its small pecker moment. What was beautiful was Denton was on stage, and he's like, well, because what happened was there was a gentleman that had overindulged, was saying some things and being a little aggressive with a woman. One of our friends, Dan, said something, and then at that point, the dude starts to try to choke him. And I heard the rustle. I was like 2 people away, and when I saw him going after him, at that point, I was like, "Well, no."
Yeah, well,
So
once
I
you put your hands on someone,
grabbed the
that's
dude, pulled him off, held him. He's screaming at me, telling me "fuck me."
This
I'm
is
saying,
during
"What
the
fuck?"
show?
Yes.
During the show. They ended
Oh,
up stopping the show. So then I'm holding this guy. I'm asking for fucking security because I saw what's going on. They cut the show. Denton goes, well, it's not that guy with the kick-ass haircut and the dude in the yellow hat is family. It's probably the guy that everybody's pointing to is the problem. And it was fucking great. And it was funny because the security guard that later was going to tell me he kicked me out, kicked that dude out. So people thought that I was actually kicked out of this show for the
dude,
confetti
I
cans or
was
whatever.
worried. I got my messages mixed up in the group chat, and I was like, I know you did not get kicked out of the show, dude. Give me the confetti cannons, dude. No way.
So what was beautiful was I had some because dude, I kept getting messages from people like on the team and like that was part of it, and they're like, fucking security wants you out of here so bad. And then I got another message from somebody and he's like, buddy, they were gonna boot you. And then I told them you were family. And I was like, thank God. Like, thank God somebody behind the scenes is saying, like, no, fuck this. But man, they played with What a Life. They played What a Life, and then was it Rose of East Kentucky? No, that's what they encored with at Aggie. What was the last song they played?
Wait, was it Radiohead?
I thought it was just What a Life.
Saturday, or was it at the
Radiohead
Aggie?
was Saturday. What a Life is the first part. They did What a Life, and then they played Let's Finish One More Fucking Bluegrass Tune. Because again, these boys did not want to get off stage. And so
they ended with My Sweet Blue Eyed Darling.
That's it.
Oh, yes. And
I'm looking at the set list you posted.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember them all, buddy. There's so many. There are so many.
Well, dude, that's a huge set list.
Yeah. I went through a lot of the highlights. I'm telling you guys, go see Magoo.
Best band ever.
When these shows come out, listen to these shows. I guarantee when you listen to the Bluebird, you're going to hear it. Shay and Tad, is there anything that you guys think that we needed to add that I may have missed from that show?
I will say, you were talking about how long that first set felt. Like, so I thought the set had ended, and as soon as I thought that, they ripped off like a fucking 20-minute Too Many Cats.
Oh,
and then
that Too Many
the
Cats.
The end of set, that's nasty, dude.
Yeah.
I didn't even pass out this time.
Yeah.
And you know, like, the last time this happened, it was the Deer Creek Sharpshooters that opened for him. So, like,
he talked about that show.
Yeah.
It was their Halloween show. And then I'm pretty sure I screamed, drink water, you stupid bitch. And you're lucky that Cortland didn't meow too loud, so you didn't go down this time. No butter down. Good call, Tad. That fucking Cats was, and it was Catterday, so it only makes sense.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn.
And then, like, to touch on your point too, about it being kind of like a turning point for this band, it really was like one of those shows you felt it in the crowd, and you felt that the band really felt it too. Like, it's awesome to see a band just be stoked to fucking be there. And you could tell they were just so excited to be there and be doing what they were doing. And it's always fun to watch that rather than seeing a band kind of go through the motions, you know?
Dude, and they're such humble dudes, right? And we're lucky enough that we get to like actually know these guys as like people off the stage as well. But that's what's super cool is like on this trajectory right now. It's just I have never seen CJ so locked in. I have never seen CJ so locked in. And like I think by him
they
being
all are
so
like it's
well, and then his energy makes everybody else, because Eric fucking ripped. Dylan absolutely crushed. Fucking Denton's bass solo at the end of that show, you're 1,000% right. He almost beat the living fuck out of that thing. And I said this at the end of our Breckenridge show last June, but Magoo is coming. And you guys need to fucking be there. Go catch a show, listen to it, watch it, do as much as you can, share it with our boys, share it with your boys and your girls. Fucking make sure that people are listening and let us know who we should be listening to, because we love these smaller bands, because I don't want to be fucking 7,000th in line for a goddamn ticket. And I want to have a good time and fucking enjoy it. Well, guess what? We used to go to Billy String shows when they didn't even fucking sell out, right?
That's
like
true.
we could pick up a ticket day of, and now it's just not. Now I sound like a salty bitch, but that's because I am. So I'm gonna make an ASPCA commercial in the arms of an angel. I need a fucking pit ticket, okay? I need a pit ticket.
I need a Paramount ticket.
Let's get shit done. We have to. And we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Boom.